As a beginner in the digital marketing space, I've spent hours and hours using spy tools and Google Chrome extensions trying to look for a winning product that I could build a brand around. And what I discovered was shocking. I thought I found a winning product because it was something that I liked or something that I enjoyed and I thought would bring some value to the marketplace. But after digging a little bit deeper, I found that there were at least dozens of other competitors who were selling the same exact product, were making thousands in sales, and already had skin in the game, which led me to discovering the one crucial mistake that I made before jumping into product research. My name is Terrence, and welcome back to the channel where we cover everything digital marketing through the eyes of a beginner and where we make sure that we have our foundation set before we take off running in the wrong direction. If you've ever posted content, ran an ad, or launched a product and heard nothing but crickets, this video is for you. And if you're just getting started and you want to make sure you don't waste months of time heading in the wrong direction, this video is especially for you. Today we're talking about market analysis. And before you click off thinking that this is too boring or technical, hear me out. Market analysis is literally the foundation of every single dollar that's made in digital marketing. It's the step that tells you where to play, who to talk to, and if there's actually any money to be made in this niche before you spend a single dollar or hour of your time. Without it, you're guessing, and guessing can be really expensive when it comes to business. So whether you're a content creator or business owner who's been at this for a while but can't seem to get any consistent traffic or conversions, or you're someone that's brand new to digital marketing and you just want to sort of get it started in the right direction, this video is for you. Market analysis is where everything starts. So the problem that I'm seeing more and more often as I dig deeper into learning the skill set is that people skip this step. They start with finding a product first, and then they work backwards and try to find an audience to match the product or offer that they just created. They create content for months without getting any traction. They run ads and blow their budget. And the whole time, the issue wasn't their product or their creative. It was that they never stopped to ask, is this the right niche or category for me to be in the first place? By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear understanding of what market analysis is and why it's a non-negotiable, why skipping it is the single most fastest way to waste money and time, who needs to be doing this and at what stage, how to actually do it with real tools, a real example, and a framework that you can use today, and when to revisit your market analysis so that you're always ahead of the curve. I'm also going to cover the one mistake that I see a lot of beginners make when it comes to market analysis, and it isn't really what you think. It's not that they don't research at all, but more so that they research the wrong thing. They look at what their competitors are doing and copy it without understanding why their competitors are winning with that business model in the first place. And that one mistake can literally send you 6 months in the wrong direction. We'll get to that before this video is over. Stick around. Once you genuinely understand how to read a market, you stop reacting and start making decisions with clarity. You know what niches are worth your time. You know exactly who your buyer is before you've made a single sale. And every other skill that we'll cover in this series, from content creation, SEO, paid ads, email marketing, all of it gets sharper because it's built on a real foundation. And once I started seeing marketing this way, it definitely had me change my approach to what I prioritized when it came to creating products, creating avatars for the audience, and testing different A or B campaigns to see what would work better for my audience. Because at the end of the day, it's about solving a problem and putting the right product or service in front of the right customer. And that only happens when you put market analysis at the beginning or foundation of anything that you do in business. So let's get into it. What exactly is market analysis? At its core, market analysis is the process of understanding the environment that you're about to compete in. It's research, but not just random research. It's structured intelligence, gathering information that answers three fundamental questions. Is there demand for what I want to sell? Who's already selling it? And how are they doing it? Is there a gap I can fill? Or a way that I can reach this audience in a different way that's already out there? Think of it like scouting a location before you open up a restaurant. You wouldn't just pick a random street corner to open up your favorite restaurant or the restaurant that you've been dreaming of. You check the foot traffic. You see what other restaurants are open close by. You see if there's drive-throughs or if there's only dine-in and takeout. You figure out if the neighborhood even wants another restaurant that's similar to the one that you're propositioning. Let's say you're a fast food chain. Is there other fast food restaurants on the same block or the same 2 or 3 block radius that are selling similar food? If you're more like a home style restaurant, Is there another diner that's selling authentic real food? Or is there another Italian restaurant that's in the same block or the same neighborhood? Is the audience or the customer that you're trying to serve crying out for something different? With digital marketing, it's the same thing. Your market is your location. And before you build anything, you need to understand it. Here's why this matters so much, especially right now. The internet is more crowded than it's ever been. There's more content, more creators, more paid ads, and more noise than any other period in history. And the brands and businesses that are cutting through that noise aren't necessarily the ones with the biggest budget. They're the ones who did their homework before stepping into the industry. When you understand your market, you stop wasting time on content that nobody's searching for. You stop running ads to audiences that were never going to buy, and you stop building products that the market doesn't actually want. Market analysis isn't a step that you do once and forget. It's an ongoing lens through which every business decision gets filtered. And the cost of skipping this step can be weeks, months, or even years wasted in the wrong direction, depending on how much energy you've put into a product before actually doing your research. Not to mention a bunch of chargebacks if customers actually decide last minute or after purchasing your product, hey, this isn't exactly what I wanted. And that can be a result of misleading information when it comes to your marketing as well. Now, who needs to be doing market analysis? The short answer, everyone. But let me break it down. If you're a complete beginner with no product yet, market analysis is literally step one. Do not pass go. You use this to decide what niche or industry you want to actually enter in the first place. If you're a business owner who already has a product or service, you use this to find the gaps that your competitors are missing, to understand why your traffic isn't converting, and to find new audiences that you haven't served yet. The ability to walk into a client meeting and say, here, this is what your market looks like. Here's where the opportunity is and what separates a $500 freelancer from a $5,000 one. So regardless of where you are in your journey, this skill set applies to you right now, today. All right, so this is the part where we can actually go through how to conduct market analysis, or at least an example of it. So let's use an e-commerce example. Let's say you're thinking about going into the fitness equipment industry, something like resistance bands or weights. And here's an example of how I would approach this. Step one, I would validate the demand. First, I want to know, are people actually using resistance bands? What type of weights are they using? What's their goal? What's their end result for trying to use this resistance band? I'd go to Google Trends and I'd type in resistance bands. Or if we're looking for dumbbells, I'd type in dumbbells. What I'm looking for is consistent search volume over time, not a spike that's already crashed. Resistance bands actually saw a huge spike during the lockdown. If you know, you know. So now I'd want to see if that demand is held from then up until now, or if it fell off a cliff. Then I'd go to Amazon and search in that same term. If the top results have thousands of reviews and purchases within the last month, then that's proof of purchase behavior. Real people are buying it, and that's demand validated. Step two, analyze the competition. Next, I want to understand who's already winning with this product or in this space. Look at the top 5 products of this area on Amazon. Look at the reviews, not the 5-star reviews, but the 3 stars and the 4 stars. That's exactly what people tell you what they wish were better. Maybe everyone's saying that the bands are snapping after 3 months. Maybe they're saying that their packaging arrived damaged. Maybe they're saying that they wish there was an extra clip that came with the band so that maybe they can hang it on their door, or a door frame, or a high surface or something of that nature. And those complaints, that's your product brief right there. That's your gap in the market where you can potentially look for ways for you to fill that gap. Then I look at who's running ads. I'd go to Meta Ad Library and search for resistance bands or the product in your case. If a brand has been running ads for that same product for 30, 60, 90, 120 days, then more than likely that product is profitable. And I'd study that product. What's the hook? What's the problem it's solving? Who is it geared towards? And let me emphasize on this. You're not copying them, you're studying them so you can see what to do better. Step 3, like we mentioned a few seconds ago, find the gap. And this is where most people stop. But actually, this is where the real opportunity is. After looking at the competition, ask yourself, what is everybody doing the same or pretty similar when it comes to this product? And more importantly, what is nobody doing? Maybe every resistance band brand is marketing to people who go to the gym, but nobody is talking to the people who are doing physical therapy at home. Moms who just finished nursing or giving birth, elderly folks who are looking for ways just to strengthen their muscles and increase their bone mass so they don't hurt themselves in the event of a fall. That gap, that underserved angle is where you build your wedge in the marketplace. Like the example we mentioned earlier, where there are a lot of resistance bands that actually only have the bands themselves, but they don't come with straps that you can hang on to something on the wall or a door frame or a bar that comes with it. So if you wanted to do something like squats with the resistance band, you'd be able to do that instead of just having the bands being held in your hand or wrapping them around your feet or your ankles and being able to spread them wide so you can do stuff with your legs. But the competitor that actually comes up with the idea to have an extra piece that goes along with the resistance bands that makes it multifunctional. Step four, you want to understand your buyer. The last piece of the how is actually building a clear idea of who you're selling to or who your target audience is. Not just fitness people. That's a little bit too broad. I want to know, how old are they? What are their physical activities and capabilities? What's frustrating them about what's already out there? What words do they use to describe their problem? And where do they hang out at online? Reddit threads, Facebook groups, YouTube comments. These are all gold mines. People are telling you exactly what they want if you know where to look. The clearer the picture of your buyer, the easier every other skill set in digital marketing becomes. Your content speaks to them, your ads reach them, your emails feel personal, and it all clicks. One thing that people get wrong or mess up on is thinking that market analysis is a one time thing, but it's definitely not. Markets shift, things change, new competitors enter into the market space, consumers' behavior change, and what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. What worked last week may not work next month. What worked 18 months ago may be a little bit saturated today. And what's emerging now may be the biggest opportunity within the next 6 months. Here's the rule of thumb that I would follow. Do a full market analysis before you enter into any niche or industry or launch any new product. Do a lighter quarterly check just to make sure that things are staying the same or to see what's changing or what's new in your market, industry, or niche. Check for new competitors, new trends, new market angles, new consumer pain points, and things of that nature. And anytime that your traffic drops or your conversions dip and you can't explain why, go back to the market. The answer is usually there. Markets reward the people who pay attention. Make this a habit and it'll pay off. All right, so earlier I promised the number one mistake that beginners are making when it comes to market analysis, and here it is. They copy their competitors without understanding why those competitors are winning. And this is incredibly common. Someone looks at a brand, they see that brand is crushing it, they're getting a lot of engagement, they're getting a lot of views, the feedback seems phenomenal, and they just replicate the surface level. Same niche, same format, similar branding, just copying everything that their competitors are doing. And then they wonder why it's not working. But here's the thing. What you see on the outside of a successful competitor is the output of a strategy that they implemented from doing deep market research and understanding their audience. You don't know their margins. You don't know the size of their email list. You don't know their customer lifetime value. And you don't even know how long they've been running certain ads or how much data they had to burn through to get there. Copying the output of a strategy that you don't understand is like copying a dish just from seeing a picture of it. You don't understand the ingredients that are in the dish, how the chef actually put it together to make it to get the end result of not only a good looking dish, but something that's actually delicious and fulfilling at the same time. So, what do you do instead? You go deeper. When you see a competitor who's doing good, your job isn't to replicate, it's to investigate. Why are people choosing them? Look at their reviews, listen to their testimonies. What angle are they using? What problem are they solving? What are they leading with? What are their customers still complaining about, even if they actually love the product? That investigation not only tells you what they're doing, but it tells you why it works. And more importantly, what you can do better. That's how you enter a competitive marketplace and actually win, or at least make your mark and have some type of significance in the field. And even now, as a beginner of me learning these digital marketing skill sets, that's a trap that I have to actively tell myself to avoid and look out for. It's so tempting when you see a product that you had an idea for that's actually doing really well with another competitor for you to just copy and emulate what they're doing. But you have to really understand the inner works of why a certain piece of content is performing well, or why a certain product on Amazon or Etsy or Pinterest is doing really well when it comes to sales and reviews. It's not only the contents inside, but it's how the product was marketed. It's who the product was marketed to. There's a lot of other things like the visual aspect of it, right? Is there a nice, appealing cover art to, let's say, a digital product? Or if it's a physical product, what's the coloring? What's the text? What are the fonts? Who's the audience to? All of these different small nuances that make up a full idea, a full picture of the problem that's being solved. Okay, so let's bring it all together. Market analysis is not optional. It's not a nice to have, but it's the foundation that everything in digital marketing is built on. Before you create content, before you run ads, before you write an email, before you build a product, you need to know your market. And now you know what market analysis is, why it's the most important first step in any digital marketing strategy, who needs to be doing it, regardless of where they are in their journey, and how to actually execute it, or at least the main idea or the big picture of how to actually execute it. It may look a little bit different depending on what industry you're in. Demand validation, competitive analysis, finding the gap, and understanding your buyer. And now you know the mistake that beginners make: copying without understanding. And we don't want to do that. Instead, we go deeper. So here's what's coming for the next video. And I want you to get excited because this is going to be really important. In the next video, we're diving into product research. And the reason this ties directly into everything we just covered is this. Your market analysis tells you what the opportunity is. Product research tells you exactly what to put in front of that opportunity. What product, what offer, what service, what ebook, what course. One without the other is incomplete, but together, they're the foundation of a business that actually makes money. So if you want to know how to find winning products, not just gut feelings and instincts, not based off of what we think looks cool or something that we would like to have for ourselves, but based on actual data and market signals, then make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. If this video gave you clarity or shifted the way that you think about your market, drop a comment and let me know. I read every single one of them. And if you know anyone who's been spinning their wheels trying to get traction online, share this with them. This might be the exact thing that they've been missing. I'll see you in the next one.